Hello Canterbury, very exciting. Yes, we've reached a long weekend. Yes, it is Easter weekend, so you may well be travelling this afternoon to head away. But if you're staying in town, can you hear this? Good old Billy Idol, yes. Loved to rock out to Billy Idol when I was a little bit younger. Way younger, probably. But he is playing at Horncastle Arena on the 4th of April. So for all those die-hard fans, I hope you have an awesome evening. Now, coming up on today's show, I'm joined by Anthony Goff on the couch. And today, yes, he has a couple of beefs to talk about. Yes, we're going to talk about things that have really got up Anthony Goff's nose. So he's always entertaining, I'm sure you'll find it just as much as us. And Mike D, head of CTV News, joins me for a roundup of the week that has been. But first up, the earthquake 2011. Yes, it was all very much privy in our world, but there is still support out there for you. And I'm joined now by Pablo Godoy, who is the Director of Operations for South Island for Relationships Aotearoa. Welcome, kia ora to you, Pablo.
Thank you. Hello.
The earthquake, I know people get, I don't know if everyone else is getting sick of it, the North Islanders and that, but the fact is it did affect everyone, maybe just a little or a lot, and there is still support.
Yep, there is. So to date, over the past 4 years, we've developed a service that MSD is fully funded, and so out in the community there's been somewhere close to about 150 clinicians undertaking work to support people coming through. So to date, over the past 4 years, we've probably seen over 30,000 people accessing that service. It is free, and that's going to continue to happen. And here to talk a little bit about, if someone is struggling, how to go about accessing that support and getting their loved ones the support that they may also need. Yeah.
So is it a fact that people could have actually just parked that emotion?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because one of the things that we also do is that we have meetings with a lot of those clinicians out in the community that are undertaking that work. And one of the things that they've been saying recently is that for those people that have struggled for so long around getting their house sorted, they're coming forward now saying, look, we've got a beautiful house now, and we've been focusing on the past 3 to 4 years getting our house sorted, but our home life has turned to mud.
Yeah. Custard.
Yeah. Custard.
Yeah.
Our
nice
home
word.
life yeah, thanks. Cool. So that's what they're finding, is that what they've done is potentially parked a lot of issues in the home life because they've focused in on the bricks and mortar in the hopes, because it's real, it's tangible, it's concrete, so it's legitimate for people to focus on something that they can work on.
It's a visual end result, isn't it?
It is, and it's a goal for them, which is a legitimate goal. But what they seem to have been saying is that in all that time, we've known we've had struggles, but we've seen the house rebuild as the end line, as a fine, and once we cross that line, then we can start our life again the way we want to. But it's been so long that this habit of parking things, and the little things in the context of the big, but when they add up, then they're dealing with this. And that's just some of the struggle that they're going through now. And
then and potential marriage breakup. So how do we access the support then, Pablo?
Okay. There are lots of different ways. One is obviously the 0800 quake line, and that's a fantastic service in terms of, because the quakes create a lot of turmoil in people's lives in lots of different ways, the quake line helps identify what the needs are and refers you on to those appropriate agencies or organisations that can help. One of those organisations is ourselves, which is about counselling, support, therapy, intervention for individuals, couples and families, because we work with children and teenagers and their parents around all this stuff. Another way is just goes directly to us as Relationships Aotearoa. So what we've done also is put in newspaper in the Star for this weekend a number of workshops that we're running. Those workshops are specifically to support a partner in crime in this, which is neighbourhood support. And they've got 700 facilitators or coordinators accessing 5,000 plus households. So we thought if we help them identify need and have those conversations with people that are in their communities, give them a direct referral line to us, they can bridge that relationship, and so there's no waiting, and there's no falling between the cracks if someone needs help.
And it's confidential as well, isn't
Absolutely,
it, Pablo?
absolutely confidential. Like I said, it's for individuals, couples or families. The government is fully funding it. We have set up a number of different ways of helping those people in different ways. So, and I guess the thing that is really important here is that although we said, I've said 30,000 people so far, which is a huge number, but it's less than 10% of the population based on the 2013 census.
Yeah.
I suspect there's quite a number of people still holding on for as long as they can, and because they're holding on a number of different issues, they're not really pinpointing which ones are the ones that cause them trouble, so they're more likely to let it go and just keep on dealing with it. I'm not sure how healthy that is in the long run for them, and so that's why I think it needs to be a message out there that there's still help out there. It's fully funded, it's confidential, and we're there to help.
Yeah, and it's a win-win situation because obviously also there can be children involved as well.
Absolutely.
And for so much, those people need to be strong for everyone.
Parents
and there's a point where something has to give.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Parents are holding on, doing the best for everybody, including their relationship, but saying you don't have to do this alone.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Hey, some great words and advice today, Pablo. Thank you so much. We'll catch up again very soon. Don't forget, just go to Relationships Aotearoa website. All the information's there, and don't forget to read The Star this weekend because of actually workshops there place. Kia ora, my friend. Have a great Easter.
Great, you too.
Now stay with us after the break. Pablo's looking fine, but Anthony got off after the break. I'm sure he's got a mighty fine suit on. See you soon.
My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my...
When you need to know what's happening in your region of Canterbury, join me, Chris Lynch, for CTV News First at 5, weeknights from 5, right here on your local channel, CTV.
Computer not working? Replace or repair? DIY or get a technician? Looking for parts? Thinking of upgrading? Need accessories? You've got questions, we've got answers. Global PC.
The preparation, the devotion, the fearlessness, the intensity.
Runway model management. First impressions are everything.
Made to measure interiors, made with care, made for you.
Join Graham Sinclair and the team at Gone Fishing as they bring you great stories, fishing tips and beautiful scenery. Gone Fishing, Friday night at 8:30, right here on CTV.
Welcome back to Canterbury Live. Well, I'm joined now, looking very buttery, very warm, very sunshine. Mr. Goff?
Oh, it's got to be. Look at the fabulous weather we've got around us at the moment.
I know, and I'm excited. It's a long weekend.
It's going to be great weather coming ahead. Hey, normally long weekends we get crappy weather, but we're not. It's lovely. It's beautiful.
Goodbye to crappy weather. Now, last time you were on, Anthony, you were telling us that you were going out with the St John ambulance. And their, or is it their quick response?
Yes, Tango they call it. Tango. There's only one Tango vehicle. It's the four-wheel drive that carries all the high drugs, and a normal ambulance does not have much more than Panadol and bandages in it. So if you're really in desperate need of high medication and painkillers, they call Tango out. And so I was in the Tango vehicle, and that was very interesting. I actually ended up driving Tango because the high-spec med had to go in an ambulance and actually go with the patient to hospital, so I followed in Tango. That was nice and exciting. I didn't turn the flashing lights on, though.
Didn't you?
No, tempted.
You don't need flashing lights when we've got you in there, love. Seriously. What did you wear?
Oh, it's something innocuous, sort of not too shiny, with their fluoro jacket on top, but incredibly nice. They work 12-hour shifts on, 12 hours off. I don't know how they do it. All of them are lovely people. 70% of the people who are in ambulances are volunteers. I have no idea the statistics. They only have 10 of these on the road, ambulances, and 1 Tango. And Tango's the one that meets ambulances and does all the sort of high drug needs and that. And it was really nice. But the great thing about it, I thought, Saturday night would be a night with, all the beer and booze and everything. We didn't at all. Nothing. That was not what the call-outs were about. We only had one drunk who'd sort of gone to sleep in somebody's doorway and was walking home from someone else's house. That was the only thing.
Was that it?
And there's all this nonsense about drunken brawls in town. Doesn't happen. I'm sorry, Mr. Police and everyone else. It's not the case.
And it wouldn't happen around your precinct at all, would it, Mr. Goff?
Never.
So you'd have those security there, those big burly boys. Redcliffe School, a bit near to your heart, isn't it?
Yes, well, I'm actually not in Redcliffe's, but it came to my attention. There, the Crown is looking to shut down Redcliffe School. Now, a school, the kids, it's the young kids. These are first, 5 years onwards, they need to be able to walk from home. That's what a school is about. It's a very important community thing. Now, they're using the excuse that, hey, the rock falls could sort of squash the children. Rubbish. They've built a big, what they call a bund, that actually will protect, and they've got 2 fence lines, so it's perfectly safe. That's a wrong call. They've actually allowed houses to be built within the bund, so if they're worried about rock falls, why are they allowing houses there? But the school's outside of that. So I think it's an excuse by Crown to actually shut down another school, which is all wrong, particularly primary schools. So I'm out bashing on everything, writing the letter to the editor.
Oh, are you just?
Yes, I don't really normally do that, but I did for this one. I think it's wrong. I think we should actually maintain Redcliffe School.
And it is the hub of their community, which they are really heartbreaking for them as well. It's a beautiful school. It's just sitting there unattended, isn't it? So, 10-year plan. It's been released, or asking for submissions.
Council. So this is how councils going to try and actually balance their budget for the next 10 years, which is a nightmare budget. And everyone says, oh, what are you doing? Selling the family silver. Well, actually, we're not. The council's not proposing that. It's proposing that they sell down and look for strategic partners on a minor basis, so they still maintain the control of Christchurch Airport, the Littleton Harbour, Orion, but they're saying we'll sell a stake and look for a strategic partner. I think that's the right thing. Otherwise, you're on my rates, it's just going to go sky high, and nobody wants that.
No.
So, or else we don't fix our roads and we leave our sewers wrong and we don't do things. They can't do that as well. So they're caught in this bind, and I think they're doing the right things of saying, let's sell down some of the shares in these strategic companies we have. The right thing to do, but this is a time for everyone to say, what do they think? How do they feel? Everyone can submit. You don't have to talk. Hey, you and I are cheeky enough. We'll front and give them heaps. But you can just write in, and it's very easy. So this is what's called the 10-year plan, and it's important that everyone does submit who feels passionate about it.
Yeah, exactly. Put your pen to paper. Language schools.
Well,
Pray tell.
It was an interesting thing because I actually put, I was sponsoring an adult language student out of Thailand, and my partner's Thai, and so she's lived in New Zealand 39 years, so we know Thailand quite well, and one of the things that in Thailand, if you can speak English fluently and write it, your job prospects will go way up here. So this person had collected money together, got an airfare, got language school paid for 5 months, got a medical insurance paid for all up front. I acted as the sponsor, so they had somewhere to actually live and somebody to make sure that they actually didn't get into trouble and got out of the country and everything else. Health was fine. Everything was there, fully paid for, and New Zealand Embassy in Bangkok declined it. And it turns out they're not issuing any adult student visas to New Zealanders.
Watch this space. I think we need to take this a little bit further, Mr. Goff. I think you've just started.
You and I will be watching this one.
You've just started a road, so I need to
Yes.
follow it. Wonderful seeing you, my friend. You take care. Look forward to seeing you next month about what you've been up to. So always so colourful. Stay with us after the break. From one dynamic model to another, runway models join me.
Kids television is right here on CTV. Tune in every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for an exciting range of fantastic kids programming. Join in with all the fun Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on CTV.
At Bowden Environmental, we specialise in all aspects of resource management, so you don't have to deal with the paperwork. With the skills and knowledge to organise any environmental work, we can guide you through the process from start to finish. From organising consents and farm environmental plans to pump and well testing, Bowden Environmental has it covered. Save time and remove the stress. See the specialist. Bowden Environmental. Computer not working? Replace or repair. DIY or get a technician. Looking for parts? Thinking of upgrading? Need accessories? You've got questions, we've got answers. Global PC.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Arts 21 showcases the vast creative talent and minds that are making a name for themselves in Europe and beyond. Think outside the square with Arts 21.
Oh dear, I had to. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
That's all right.
Peter.
It's not the first time.
I know,
Might
it's
be the
not.
last. Yep.
Mike D, head of CTV News. How's it going, my friend?
Been busy leading up to Easter, so we've got a lot going on, and hopefully everyone's going to have a good four plus days off. So we'll see how it goes next week.
Okay, I'm going to kick things off.
Go.
Row your
Yes.
boat, yes or no?
Yes, okay. Well, I mean, if you enjoy rowing, I'm sure you enjoy rowing. If you enjoy the drama that goes with rowing that's happened this week with St Bede's, then maybe not as much. As of today, the coaches of St Bede's have resigned from the school following the drama which has gone on, of course, with students whose parents, of course, successfully got them through court to allow them to row the regatta in Cambridge recently. So it's now at a point where that whole drama is now obviously showing the wider St Bede's community are a bit upset with what's happened, with the parents getting away with that sort of action against the school's position to restrict the students from going to the regatta. So personally, I'm hoping it's going to end now. It's quite a lot of information for one school. When I think
so
there's
the community.
and the community as well. But it obviously shows that a lot of people are quite upset about it as well, and they just want to get on with what's going on and how it's affected the rowers, of course, and the students. The students rowing in the team is also has to be considered with this thing as well. So.
Losing coach is not a good thing either.
Probably not. They have to start
No.
from scratch again. And of course, the two students who got through didn't actually get through the nationals anyway. So it
Well, no, they didn't actually. No, they didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But anyway, Anthony, of course, talked about the long-term vision.
Plan. That's right. So the long-term plan now is with the Christchurch City Council. It's also with the Selwyn Council and also with the Environment Canterbury as well. So it's now a chance for anyone, any resident in Canterbury, of course, now to have a say on their local on their local council, say about what their local council does over the next 10 years. It includes rates, it includes a whole raft of other issues as well, and how the money's going to be spent. And as Anthony also rightfully mentioned, here in Christchurch, there's a whole debt issue to play with as well, and how we want to see that being fixed up by a council over the next 10 years. So over the next 4 to 6 weeks, depending on which council it is, you've now got a chance, everyone here in Christchurch and most places across the region have got a chance now to have their view, have their say on what they want the future of the region to be like. So it is an opportunity to get in and have their say. This week we did a couple of stories on the need and the emphasis that residents place on consultation, and we found that, with the exception of probably a minority of people who want to have their viewpoints, and they often do on a regular basis, not a lot of people actually get involved in it, unfortunately, but they often will complain about it afterwards if it hasn't worked out their way. So this really is an opportunity for pretty much most people to get in and have their say, and they have to be listened to. They do? There's a statutory obligation for them to be listened to. The Christchurch City Council embarked on what they called Mayor in the Chair over the last week, and they might be doing some more next week, whereby it was a chance for people to come out and actually sit in the Mayor's chair and say, we want this to happen, and the Mayor and the councillors there had to listen to what was going on. So it's another way for people to have their say in an open forum, as opposed to just having to write submissions. And again, the council has to listen to them. So that's
how do they select who sits in the chair, though?
I just think it's
let's go random. You can do it.
I think basically there weren't enough people for them to actually have to go through that process. They just took who turned up on the day, and they went for that thing. So everyone raised issues from everything, from roading issues to schooling issues. As Anthony also mentioned, the community issues of Redcliffe School was another point raised. So this select who comes in, and people can have their say and say what they want, pretty much, and they take it from there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Easter weekend, the roads, we should be careful.
Yes, and it'll be carnage again. We've already had the advice from the police and the road and the New Zealand Transport Authority to say, look, be careful on the roads. There's a lot of congestion. There's going to be more congestion than usual. 2 of the bridges here in Christchurch have opened recently, the South Bryden Bridge, the Bridge Street Bridge in South Bryden, and also the one in Ferrymead, so that's going to probably allay some of the commuting difficulties. But yes, over the next 4 days, there's also further distances for people to travel, and so people are saying just be mindful, be wise, and be careful. Plan your trip in advance, maybe leave early, and don't get too stressful over what is supposed to be a holiday and you're supposed to relax.
Well, you have a happy Easter. I hope Easter Bane looks after you.
I would like some Easter eggs.
And she lays some eggs under your pillows. It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It'd be very nice.
Very good. Rightio. He's hoping.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Now we have a beautiful way to head us into Easter. It's Hallelujah with Rachel Hamilton and Assembly Required.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? She goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the manifold, and the major lift. The baffled king composed it. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne, and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Baby, I've been here before, seen this room and I walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march, you're cold and it's a broken hallelujah. somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 There was a time when you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show it to me, do you? And remember when I moved in you, the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. 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 Say I took your name in vain, didn't even know your name, but if I did, well really what's it to ya? There's a blaze of light in every word, doesn't matter what you heard, so holy on the broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Absolutely beautiful. Assembly Required and Friends, Rachel Hamilton. Have a wonderful Easter. We will be back tomorrow though, because we're cooking biscuits, we're making Easter biscuits, and the two leads of Phantom of the Opera join me. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great day. Take care.
Défiler prêt à porter, c'est ma raison d'exister. Tout est question de choix. Le look, regardez-moi.